Ashli Babbitt's family has filed a lawsuit to reveal the identity of the police officer who shot and killed Ashli Babbitt during the January 6th riots at the Capitol. As you may recall, Ashli Babbitt was trying to get through, I think it was a window pane of a door, and she was trying to crawl through that, and a police officer shot her, I think it's within the shoulder, and then she died from that gunshot. It's been reported that there were 5 people who died at the riots at the Capitol on January 6th. So we had Ashli Babbitt. She was killed through the gunshot as she was going through the window pane of that doorway. These other names and the causes of death I'm getting, I think this is from the USA Today, but we had Kevin Greeson, died of natural causes from cardiovascular disease. Benjamin Phillips died of natural causes from cardiovascular disease. We had Roseanne Boyland, died of an accident from acute amphetamine intoxication. So that's up to 4. And then we also had Officer Brian Sicknick, who, Officer Sicknick is the one who I think was officially reported that he was killed through being hit by, I think it was a fire extinguisher or something like that. Later, though, medical reports came out, and I believe it's now reported that he actually suffered a stroke and died of natural causes. So back in April, the Justice Department came out and they said this about the police officer who had shot Ashli Babbitt. They cleared him or her of any criminal wrongdoing, and they said that this police officer would not face any charges. Now, I know recently we've had very few police officer involved shootings. Okay, it's going to be hard for you to think of one, but if you can think of one, you can also think of the name of the police officer, right? Most likely because the police departments release those names, right? But in this case, the Capitol Police Department, they have not released the name, and I don't think they plan on releasing the name either, which is why the family of Ashli Babbitt filed this lawsuit. So let's take a brief look at the complaint that was filed. As you can see here, this was filed on June 2nd, and it was filed by Aaron Babbitt, who I believe that's Ashli Babbitt's husband, and it was filed against the District of Columbia. Now, in the complaint, in the statement of facts, it says here that on April 21st, they had submitted a FOIA request, a Freedom of Information Act request, to the Metropolitan Police Department of the District of Columbia, and they wanted video footage of the incident along with a number of other items. They also wanted the name of the police officer who shot and killed Ashli Babbitt. And they're saying in their statement of facts that as of this date, the Metropolitan Police Department has failed to comply with the FOIA request. And they have one count here, count 1, the violation of the FOIA request. Defendant is in violation of the DC Freedom of Information Act. So they're seeking to have them force them to disclose this information. Now, I have read reports that the Babbitt family also plans on suing the Capitol Police Force for $10 million, accusing the officer of using excessive force and the department of possibly failure to train, discipline, and supervise the officer who killed Ashli Babbitt. Right now, I don't think that other lawsuit has been filed yet. I'm only aware of this specific lawsuit having to deal with the FOIA request. So why do I think the U.S. Capitol Police Force has not disclosed the name of the police officer? I mean, is it because she was a supporter of Donald Trump, or is it because it had to do with the January 6th riots? What are other reasons could there be? Well, I think it's probably because the U.S. Capitol Police Force, they seem to have their own set of rules because they're kind of like Congress. You know how Congress seems to be able to get away with all sorts of things and it's okay because they're Congress? I guess they've, decided to do that with their police force too. So they seem to have their own sets of rules. All right, so for example, Congress has not required the U.S. Capitol Police Force to follow the same public reporting and transparency protocols like many other large municipal police organizations do. For example, like the Washington, D.C. Metropolitan Police Department does, the MPD, okay? So, the DC police, they're required by law to release the names of the officers involved in deaths or serious uses of force within 5 days of the incident. But the Capitol Police Force, they don't have those requirements. And a lot of times they just choose to withhold the information just because they can, right? Here's another example. So the Metropolitan Police Department, the MPD, they require their officers to use body cameras. The U.S. Capitol Police, they do not. So when there's a serious incident or someone dies with the MPD, they have to release the name of the officer as well as the footage from the camera. But the U.S. Capitol Police, they don't have body cameras. It's a good thing because we'd hate to have footage from body cameras, on the Capitol Police officers. The U.S. Capitol Police, they were asked why they were not disclosing the name of the police officer involved in the death of Ashli Babbitt. And this was reported in Forbes that the U.S. Capitol Police said it is standard procedure when there are concerns for an officer's safety, as there are in this case. So that's why they're not disclosing the officer's name. Yeah, because that's not at all the case with all other police officers in every police department across the country whenever there's a shooting. That doesn't apply to them because it's not going to be dangerous to disclose their names. It's just, I guess if you're with the Capitol Police, then hey, just a minute. Here's another example where the Capitol Police Force did not disclose the name of the police officer who was involved in a shooting. This was back in 2013. It was reported in the Washington Post. There was a Connecticut woman driving erratically on Capitol Hill in her car. The Capitol Police shot into her car and killed her. They never gave the names or name of the police officers involved in that shooting, and she was shot and killed. Hey, maybe they're under budget, okay, in the Capitol Police Force. Maybe that's really the problem. They've got 2,100 sworn officers, and they have a $516 million budget. Now, just to put that in perspective, that is twice the spending on the police in Atlanta. Okay, so underfunding, low budget, that's probably not it. Isn't it weird that Congress takes care of themselves? They're like, wait, that's a Capitol Police Force? That's our police force? Let's give them a crap load of money, $516 million. Should we give them rules that might hamper what they're doing? No, let's not give them rules. Let's let them do a lot of stuff. Let's not have body cameras, because you know what? They're our police force. We want them to really do whatever it takes to keep us safe. Let's not have body cameras. And let's not have any rules with reporting either, because we want them to do whatever it takes to keep us safe. We're Congress. What about the people of the United States? They can have different rules. They're just the citizens. Who care? Come on. They can have their own rules that are much more strict, and we need to, but this is us. This is Congress, okay? We want them to be able to do what they want, and let's give them tons of money to do it. Oh, this is great. Okay, you know what? I'll keep you posted, but I don't think it's looking good because I don't think the Capitol Police Force, I don't think they're subject to the Freedom of Information Act. At least that's what has been, I've seen that down before. And I believe this lawsuit was filed against the District of Columbia. So they might ask the Capitol Police Force to give us the info, and the Capitol Police Force might just say, go pound sand. We're part of Congress and you can go stick it. I mean, I don't know what's going to happen. I think they should have to. It would be nice if they had to, but they seem to have their own set of rules, kind of like Congress. And I don't think Congress is subject to FOIA either, are they? No, yeah, the Capitol Police, like Congress, are not subject to the Freedom of Information Act. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.